Detroit's old city airport crumbles, can it be revived? The city of Detroit recently turned down a $4 million offer from private investors to build a modern terminal and hangars at the long-neglected Coleman A Young International Airport as Mayor Mike Duggan's team raised the idea of closing the airfield permanently. The rejection of the offer from Avflight, the fixed-base operator at the East Side Airfield, still best known as Detroit City Airport, came amid complaints from airport advocates that the city is needlessly letting a potential asset deteriorate. Among other signs of neglect, the city hasn't staffed a Detroit Fire Department station on airport grounds for many years, which prevents some business aircraft from landing there because of insurance concerns. Nor has the city applied for a variety of multi-million-dollar federal and state grants that could help pay for needed upgrades to runways. The airport doesn't even have its own website, and the city does little or no marketing of the airfield. Carl Muss, president of Avflight, an Ann Arbor-based firm that operates multiple airports in the U.S. and Britain, said he offered in 2016 to spend up to $4 million at City Airport to build a new terminal and hangars to accommodate larger corporate jets, but only if the city granted Avflight the security of a multi-year lease. The city for many years had not offered leases to tenant firms at the airport, keeping them on month-to-month status that could be revoked at any time. We had been working on a lease for quite a while and then got to the very end where it was due to be signed and it was pulled off the table, Muss said. The city said, "We're going to take another look at the airport and decide what direction we want to go in. So we've been on hold for quite a while out there." Story continues below. Archives. The boneyard, where airlines send old planes to be scrapped. Such moves fuel concerns for the airport's future. For against the hope and promise of a revitalized city airport stands the allure of freeing up the airfield's 264 acres for other uses, such as an industrial park, which Duggan has suggested might bring many more jobs to the city. That possibility is now under study, and Duggan's team maintains that until a formal decision on the site's future is made, it made no sense to move ahead with the Avflight offer or other improvements. Jed Halbert, Duggan's group executive for planning, housing and development, said the administration at this point is trying to gather facts for further discussion. "It's a big assembled piece of property in a city that doesn't have a lot of them," Halbert said in an interview. "The basic question we're asking is, how do you maximize the benefit of the airport to the people of Detroit?" Halbert said there are several options, including spending money to restore the airport in whole or part, closing the shorter of the airport's 2 runways and using that land for other economic development, and closing the airport altogether and redeveloping the land. "We want to get to a point where we have a common fact-based discussion on how those various scenarios compare to each other in terms of jobs, other benefits to the city, neighborhood impact, cost to execute them," Halbert said. "It should be something you can summarize on one sheet of paper and then go talk about them." But Halbert sounded skeptical of the airport's future. "The reality is that it loses money. There's not many jobs on site, and it's not very actively used by planes that are based there," he said. "So it's hard to make an argument that, as an asset today, it's delivering commensurate with what it should be, given how much land it is in the city." Because of city airports' problems, flight operations have steadily declined in recent years, from 45,233 takeoffs and landings in 2014 to 37,264 last year, Federal Aviation Administration data reports show. List, the world's 20 busiest airports, 2017. Story continues below. The city says the airport loses around $1 million a year, though about half of that loss stems from the water drainage fee that the city charges, but since it's city property no money is actually changing hands. Advocates for the airport point out that many types of public infrastructure lose money but deliver broader economic benefits. Yet given how difficult it is to actually close an airport, the Federal Aviation Authority can take years, if not decades, to approve a closure. Advocates say the city ought to move ahead with a vigorous airport revitalization plan now. Among others, the Detroit City Council has expressed its support for revitalizing the airport many times in recent years. I can say that I have made it clear I do not support closing the airport. Council member Scott Benson told the Free Press in an email. I will also continue to advocate for investment in this city asset, as it can and will become a huge economic development engine for the city and region once we, the city, start to make even the basic investments to keep it in a state of good repair. The non-profit Coleman A Young International Airport Education Association, consisting of community advocates, corporate executives, recreational flyers and other fans of the airport, believes significant new business for City Airport is just waiting on some signal from Duggan's team that the city will prioritize airport revitalization. The thing is, we know we are 100